Hi, welcome to the CrafteeManatee. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this pumpkin coaster. This pumpkin coaster is part of my 2024 Crochetaween pattern collection here on the channel. During the month of October, I'm going to be posting 13 different Halloween-inspired crochet patterns, so make sure to check out that entire playlist to get all kinds of fun Halloween-inspired crochet patterns. This pumpkin coaster is part of a set of coasters that will be released during the month of October. We also have the cauldron coaster and the ghost coaster. So all three of these coasters are worked basically the same in the beginning with this starting circle, and then it just gets different during the final rounds. So keep an eye out for these patterns. If they haven't been released already, they will be very soon. The pumpkin coaster is also available as a free pattern over on Ribblr, so if you would prefer to follow along to a written pattern, you can always check that out as well. So let's go ahead and get started crocheting the pumpkin coaster. Here are the materials that you're going to need to crochet this pumpkin coaster. First, you're going to need about 10 grams of worsted weight yarn in whatever color you want the main pumpkin to be. In this first pumpkin, I chose orange, but today I'll be crocheting in yellow yarn. You'll also need about 2 grams of worsted weight yarn in brown, or whatever color you would like for the stem. Today we will be using a 5mm crochet hook or the letter H. And we will also need scissors and a tapestry needle for cutting the yarn tails and weaving them in at the end. To get started crocheting our pumpkin coaster, we are going to take the main color of yarn and we're going to make a magic ring, and then we're going to make 6 single crochet stitches into that magic ring. Now we can pull the yarn tail tight to close up the ring, and then we are going to slip stitch into the first stitch that we made to help secure our magic ring. For the next round, we are going to work a puff stitch and a single crochet stitch all in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that 5 more times around, and that's going to bring our stitch count up to 12 stitches at the end of this round. So we're going to work a puff stitch, and to do that we are going to yarn over and insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, do the same thing, and then we're going to do it one final time. So it's going to be 3 yarn overs, insert your hook, and pull up a loop. So now we are going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops on our hook. And then we need to work 1 single crochet stitch into the same stitch that we worked the puff stitch in. And we're going to do that 5 more times. So we are going to work a puff stitch, and single crochet 1, and continue that around. Once we've gotten all the way around working our puff stitch and single crochet stitch all in the same stitches, we're going to move on to the next round, and that is going to be a chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and then work 2 double crochet stitches both in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that 5 more times around, and our total stitch count at the end of this round will be 18 stitches. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1, and then we will skip 1 stitch, and then we will work 2 double crochet stitches in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat that all the way around, so go ahead and do that step 5 more times, and I will meet you back here. And once we have gotten all the way around, we will now have 6 of these little chain spaces all the way around the circle. So now we're going to move on to our next round, and for this round we are going to single crochet 2 and then increase, and we'll repeat that 5 more times around for a total of 24 stitches. So we are going to single crochet 2, and then we are going to work an increase stitch. And that increase stitch is going to go in the chain space, so it might be a little bit tight there, but you just need to work 2 single crochet stitches in the next stitch. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you back here once you've completed that. And now for the next round, we are going to work another puff stitch round. So we're going to work 3 puff stitches and then 1 puff stitch and 1 single crochet stitch, both in the next stitch. And that's going to bring our stitch count up to 30 at the end of this round. So we're going to go ahead and work 3 puff stitches. So again, a puff stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert into that stitch, and we'll pull up a loop, and we're going to do that 2 more times. And then we are going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches. And now we're going to work another puff stitch in the next 2 stitches. And now we are going to work 1 puff stitch in the next stitch, and then we're going to work a single crochet stitch in that stitch as well. So we're going to puff stitch like normal, and then go back into that stitch and work a single crochet stitch. And we're going to continue that around, so we're going to repeat what we just did 5 more times, and I will meet you back here once we are at the end of this round. Alright, now that we have finished our second round of these puff stitches, we are going to work a second round of these chain space stitches. Now, this round is a kind of long repeat, but what we're going to do is chain 1 and then skip 1 stitch, and then we are going to work 2 double crochet stitches, and then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and work 2 double crochet stitches all in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat this 5 more times around for a total stitch count of 36 stitches. So it's kind of a lot. I'm going to work that first repeat here with you, and then you can either pause the video to rework it over and over again, or watch it over again so that you can follow along with me. So we're going to chain 1, and then we are going to skip 1 stitch and work 2 double crochet stitches. So we are going to double crochet and then double crochet in the next stitch as well. And now we are going to chain 1 and skip 1 stitch, and now we're going to work 2 double crochet stitches, both in the next stitch. And that is our repeat, and we are going to just repeat that all the way around. So feel free to pause the video or rewind to watch how I did it again and follow along that way. So I'll meet you back here once we are done with this round. And once we have gotten all the way around, now we are going to start on our outside round. So this round is where the pumpkin shape is really going to start to take shape. We're going to work on these little shell stitches all the way around, and that is going to bring us directly into working on the stem. So let's go ahead and get started working that round. What we're going to do for this round is work 5 half double crochet stitches in each of the chain spaces of the previous round, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch and skip 1 stitch. And we're going to repeat that 9 more times, and that's going to be a total of 10 shell stitches. So we are going to work 5 half double crochet stitches in these chain spaces that we just made. So you can see the chain 1 spaces is where we're going to be working the shells. So we're going to work 5 half double crochet stitches in each of these spaces. And to work a half double crochet stitch, we are just going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops on our hook. And we're going to do that 5 times in this space. And now we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch and then skip 1 and work another shell in this chain space here. So we're going to just continue that all the way around, working a shell stitch in each of these chain spaces. And I will meet you back here once we have 10 shells complete. It won't go all the way to the end of the round. We'll still have a little gap here to work the stem. And now that we have worked all 10 of those shell stitches, it is time to move on to the pumpkin stem. So we are going to go ahead and grab our brown yarn and start working with brown instead of our main color. So we are going to single crochet 6. So we are going to insert our hook into the next stitch that we would have worked in the pattern. And we are going to single crochet 1, 2, into that chain for 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that will bring you to the start of our first shell that we made. Now we are going to stop working in rounds and we're going to start working back and forth across to form our stem. So we are going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work, and then we're going to single crochet 6 along the back side here. And now we will chain 1 and turn our work again. And we are going to work a decrease. And then single crochet 2. And then decrease again. And now we will chain 1 and turn our work. And this is the final row of the pumpkin stem, and we are going to just single crochet 4. Now we can fasten off our yarn and cut off that yarn tail. We can also go back and cut off the yellow yarn if you haven't already, just to free up the pumpkin. And now all we have to do is add on our pumpkin tendril. To attach our tendril onto our pumpkin, we are going to insert our hook right into this stitch here, right to the left of the pumpkin stem. It's actually the stitch that this furthest stitch of the pumpkin stem is worked into. And we are going to attach our brown yarn. I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 to attach it. And now I'm going to chain 10. And now we want to get this tendril to start curling, and how we're going to do that is work 2 single crochet stitches in every chain, starting in the second chain from the hook. So we're going to skip this first chain, and we're going to work 2 single crochet stitches, and do the same thing in the next chain. And we are going to just continue that all the way along, down until we get back to the base of the pumpkin. And once we get down to the base and all we have left is this one chain one that we use to attach the yarn to, we are going to slip stitch back into the same stitch that we started in, and then fasten off the yarn and cut the yarn tail off. And you can see that that tendril is starting to curl, so you can help it out a little bit and help form that curl. And there you go. So now all we have to do is tuck in the yarn tails and we'll be done. I'm going to show you on one of the yarn tails how I like to weave in the ends. We're just going to insert our yarn into the needle, and this is along the back side. We're just going to insert our needle through some of these puff stitches or just any of the stitches along the back. Insert it through. And you can see that you can't see the needle through the front, so you're not going to see that yarn tail being pulled through. And then I'm going to skip one stitch and insert the needle back in the opposite direction. And then I'm going to do the same thing one last time in the direction that we started in. I find that going in 3 different directions really makes sure that that yarn tail is not going to come out. So now we can go ahead and cut that yarn tail off, and it's nice and hidden away. So I'm going to go ahead and sew in all of these other yarn tails, and I'll meet you back here with our finished pumpkin. And here is our finished pumpkin coaster. I hope you enjoyed today's video learning how to crochet your own pumpkin coaster. If you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more crochet patterns and tutorials. Also, make sure to check out all of the other 2024 Crochetaween Halloween related patterns. There will be a playlist here that you can check out all of those patterns. And if you do decide to crochet your own pumpkin coaster, I would love to see it. You can create a project page over on Ribblr or tag me on Instagram at the CrafteeManatee. You can also find all of my other patterns on Ribblr, Ravelry, and Etsy. Thanks for watching. Bye.